Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. With the one and only DJ the Cowhugger, aka Morgana's House of Memes. In other words, today we are going to be doing and continuing a little bit more of our quest, for justice and the truth of what's right. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what up, guys? This is DJ the Cowhugger coming back at you with more Ace Attorney Chronicles before we really dive deep into Dragon's Quest. I know, y'all love Dragon's Quest, but I know y'all like Yakuza too, right? So, let me have a comment to see what I should play next, like Yakuza or Dragon's Quest. I'm gonna continue Dragon's Quest anyway, but that's here nor there. Let's continue. On the last episode, Susato came in with a note, bursting through the courtroom door. Right into it. Well, I understand you're a judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
A judicial assistant, and a woman, no less. The rules state that females are not permitted into this.
Fucking hate AOG.
The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
Yes, I fully understand. I ask only 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. The trial has already been concluded.
Saikith, 5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency...
I am most grateful.
We about to dunk on these boys. Cosmo like, hey, who are you exactly?
I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now.
A report or something written in English.
It's Giselle Brett's research.
The English woman?
After the trial resumed, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the Manifesting and borrowed this paper.
Ah yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't he? So does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case?
I'm afraid I don't know.
I haven't been able to... Can I piss on that judge? Use the Commodore!
I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
No, what you need to do is piss on this lady. Not her, but the next one you'll see Derp. Dude, this chick is frickin'... She's something. You'll see.
Oh no, of course not.
Special characteristics of Courier and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Courier? What's that? I've never heard of that word before.
Time's up. The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom.
There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could note just outside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful, thank you.
Giselle's report. Let's read this motherfucker.
Goodbye then, and good luck.
Alright, Susato. You've had a long enough, counsel. We could not detain our English guest any longer. Ask the prosecution and defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its convincingly enough. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Let's read this report real quick. Oh, a poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungle. If the region used it 8 times to incapacitate their prey. Effects: instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. poison. I told you. She was researching poison. I got you now, bitch.
The prosecution has made it convincingly enough. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Ryunosuke, we're all out of options here. This really is our last chance. Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have some shit to present. That look, that unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett?
Yes, Your Excellency?
You snake in the grass bitch. If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you will grace with your presence a little longer?
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid.
Fuck out of here, you're about to be arrested.
It's not very long until tea time.
Yeah, in prison. Your Honor, I have evidence I wish to bring to the court. Places. Judge RFPP to the judge. This evidence is inconclusive. Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question, however. I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is this new evidence that demands of court attention? Well,
Yes!
poison.
Miss Giselle Brett,
We understand that you are understudy under Dr. Wilson at UMA University doing research. Research by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison.
what?
Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel? A toxin known as Courier, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death. Here goes Simpy.
What a complete and utter nonsense! Piss on this guy.
He's a freaking Commodore.
Courier, you say? I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have done.
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of Courier before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist. Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police could do for the toxins, they'd never identify Courier. Courier. Why? Because there is no test available that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. What? Yeah, bitch. Got your ass now. Order, order, order! Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authorized by the visiting research student from England, Courier has been long used by the tribespeople of South America and as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's unreasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle and is brought back to Europe at turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by the arrows laced with Courier suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Trumpery! Those assertions are utterly trumpery. To start with, if the victim had been administered some so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
Nope. Different type of poisons, buddy. That is true. So what do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain. According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean, the other way around?
The fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that Courier was used. Explain yourself, counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all his strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor and not use the Commodore. With a chair underneath him for support. Dr. Wilson did. The effects could go completely unnoticed. This bitch thought she was slick. But I don't follow, Cosmo. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move. That's hideous. To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly career poison. I'm telling you, bro, piss on this chick, bro. She's a freaking monster. And who you learn who she murders later? Like, dude, oh no, dude. Fuck this bitch, bro. Not the judge, but fuck this trial, bro. Jezzael, fuck this bitch, bro. Such a good first trial, but goddamn, she's a scumbag. And you're suggesting that this bottle capsule actually contains this terrifying poison?
Objection!
Boy.
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense. If I may. All these facts. You think you're so clever, but you must be taught some... Thank you. It is you who must be taught. Oh, of course. Dear lady!
For real, dude, him and her, because he's trying to defend and simp for this bitch, and it's like, dude, we have all these facts that this man was out here dying in the most horrible way possible. And he's over here like, yo, that's a lot of bullshit. Like, I get it, but Ayuchi's just a bitch. There are other prosecutors in the Ace Attorney series who are goated, like Miles, and, you know, and stuff like that. But, like, Ayuchi and Pain, nah. They stay getting shat on. And this bitch, fuck this bitch. So this is how you Japanese behave, is it? Oh, also people really gave this Peep thing flack for some of its racist undertones, but like at the time, bro, this was like during integration and they were at war and shit like that. So I mean, you get what you get, you know what I mean? People are like, oh no, there's realism in my lawyer game. You steal others' honest work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the fortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime? For real. So, on the last episode, in case you guys are just getting here, Ryunosuke, us, basically, is being framed for killing the guy that this bitch basically poisoned. To loathsome. That is really a loathsome act, wouldn't you agree? And Cosmo's way over here like... Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules. What's so funny? Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please? Well, yes, I don't see why not? Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys. Sorry? To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and his foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really.
But I'm getting bored of all it now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers.
Yo, what? Wait, what are you doing?
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Goodness. Whatever is the matter, you all look quite stunned.
So, no cure. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying?
You look quite incredulous, little boy, but of course, that is the simple truth. Thank you for presenting my findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind.
This bitch. No, we gonna catch this bitch, dog.
Thank you, waiter. Now then, your excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
Should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Yes, sir, lady. We're most greatly about it with all the assistance you have given.
This doesn't make sense.
There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale?
Understand it. Well, I suppose if nothing left, this little far eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London.
It's been poison left us there.
Because otherwise she would have killed other dead.
Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. The bottle of water contains poison. The culprit did put Kira in the dark waters. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Fool, are you blind? There's no possible way for them. We just saw Miss Brett drinking the water from it. That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think. And I believe that complication can be explained. How exactly? I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have. It has to be.
Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert its claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains the witness should be able to consume with the poison unscathed? Alrighty.
Yes!
We got this last episode. It seems the defense also should say left unaccused.
Oh, no, that's not it? Ah, shit. Okay. You're making this complication more complicated than it needs to be. Alright, I'll do my find of facts. Alright, let's see. I think it was, so it's not the report card?
Let's see.
Interesting. Let's see.
Yes!
This has to be it. That's it. To this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
Attention!
Yep. Susato coming through.
That's not a valid explanation.
No.
After all, we don't speak English. The report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honestly. I'm just reading Susanoo-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, Counsel. Which section of the report? Here we go. The synopsis. It's right here in the synopsis, I think.
Oh, really? Go on.
Well, synopsis, so it's bound to contain lots of vague statements that I really hope are going to help me out here. He really hopes it's going to help out here.
You have to do better than that. I shudder to think how we'll fare in the 12th century if we were led by the likes of you.
Yes. Okay. What? Read properly. Oh, so it's not the synopsis? Oh shit. That's not what I meant to put. It was the second one.
Objection!
It's okay. I know what it is though. Alright. Specific characteristics. We've been hearing a lot about this courier poison. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, Counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years to lace the heads of those arrows as they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. We've all been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch the prey to eat.
Get to the point.
But what if they were used to lace arrows? Doesn't mean they should be traces left one to eat. Yes, good point, right? So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, wouldn't they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, Counsel. No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. On a specific characteristic, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seems a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When courier enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poison effects whatsoever! What? Miss Brett, you authorized this research, you knew courier's specific characteristics, and you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking the water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little... Yeah, bitch, I got you now. Rapscallion? Belly Inosuke, it turns out. You're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? Oh, really?
Objection!
All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I felt this I probably shut up.
So, you, the elf, look at this bitch, so mad, I'm about to put you in prison.
So the ill-bred little pup has a new toy to play with, some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say? Oh yeah, I forgot she's British. Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish? Flaw? She sounds like a fucking Karen. Dude, she's a bitch. bitch, bro. She over here murdering dudes, and she knows that the treaty that the Japanese people don't want to break this treaty, so she knows this nigga Ayuchi's ought to be simping out here for a bitch that doesn't give a fuck about their entire race. Even your brain has managed to deduce Kuro is safe to ingest. It seems likely the effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of gastric succus. Oh, yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers, what are they? So if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? That's right. Good gracious! That's basic science, science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no? But little does she know, it's still the matter of the whole ass. Order, order in the court, order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drink the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. You're trying to suggest... Yes, this Kuro poison is completely irrelevant to the case on the trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you would understand something as simple as that. What is this? Welling up inside me. Here we go, this is where the legend starts. I never felt like this before. Someone needs to clip this, here it goes! It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey.
Objection!
Yo, he did the thing. Ooh, chills. Alright, now we're playing Ace Attorney. I don't think so, Miss Jezal Brett! How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You should know exactly, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison, you are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we know now that this poison is completely harmless when ingested, why would Dr. Wilson have been killed by the Curer? Well, here goes. He was shot. Pretty sure what was the crime scene photo.
Take that!
Nah, that's not it. Okay, so oh yeah, okay, okay, yeah. So, what would, yeah, so something that let his poison in, it was the freaking medical report.
Take that!
Yes. As Ms. Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental difference between their two dinners. A fatal difference? The toxic effects of Kuro only felt when poison enters through the body through an open wound. So, a healthy person with no injuries drinking it is completely harmless. Checkmate, bitch. But What if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the one you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you're well aware of Dr. Dead appointment that day. So that's it. You use that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile. What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy, you'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No. I mean, it could just slip. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. What is it? What just happened? It's the Englishwoman. She's just smashed the ball. A terrible blunder. So what are you waiting for? Collect as much of the water from the robot at once. You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it'll soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the desk and shout as much as you like, little boy, but I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there was really poison in the water bottle or not. You bitch. And let us not forget, we still have some compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel, for the prosecution? Oh, of course. You're referring to this photographic... Oh. That's what's going to be your downfall, though, isn't it? I presume, dear lady. So, and really, looking at this photograph, it's clear as day. He was sitting with his back next to me. Shot him in front of a little schoolboy. Objection. Chest with your hidden gun. Special round, you see? You had every opportunity to commit this crime. Man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor dead. Exactly. I don't have a shred of evidence. Yeah, watch this. And yes, nothing to spoil your wild claims of caution. His stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. It's unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now she's really going to get away with it? The evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke, yes, you've come this far, but now you're the one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? You've lost a vital piece of evidence. It's true. So if there's any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. In my head? You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend on. Yeah, but I didn't manage to notice the woman was afforded with a swan on her head. So think back again. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. I saw what I felt. Every color. Oh! Wasn't it right? Same scene in my head. Baby! She cuts him up. I think that might be something. Think back that we saw. Might have uncovered another clue. Haha, you always let the son don't receive, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on, then let's rub that smug smile off that Englishman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it could be. Whatever it is could be arriving at the... all about this. Here we go. It's somewhere here. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real quota could have been is...
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes? What is it? He steals miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, for perfection of your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if you could perhaps take in anything from the crime scene. Like, for instance, the steak that you took to the victim's table that day?
Wait a minute. Where are you going with the...
Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene of this photograph with my own eyes that day. And that I saw the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was spattering of blood. What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have been from when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photographic and relative position of everything there. The player's stake is almost directly behind the victim.
Yep. I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the front of the chest. There's no way the blood could have ended up directly behind him. That is true. Yes. The blood to have made it onto the plate implies that the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means that the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor as you were. Jezebel, Brett. I beg your pardon? This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
Our boy. This could be the moment my entire career in the police force was leading up to. Inspector, you mean? Yes, I took the plate, in the interest of preserving evidence on the scene of the crime. I took it meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak that you'd been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the surgeon had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice. My man. We should... Let's pray. We must examine it now! Inspector? The court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir! Hosonaga the goat for real, because he's like, I don't care if they call me the crime scene thief. Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered, the steak. Well, what about the blood? Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector. The blood, man! Show the court! Of course, it's on the plate. No blood. No blood anywhere. But that's impossible! It's right here. On the press, there's blood inside of the plate. You're not becoming special, little boy. You see, this is exactly why you can't switch to Japanese. Tell me. I
I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire,
I believe we may finally reach the conclusion of this trial.
let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at court proceedings is painful to watch, but I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. Sorry, looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. Accused wishes to examine again, be my guest.
So I've lost Ryunosuke. Yet not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. Believe in myself, really? I'm actually believe in myself. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown problematic in any way, I presume any further act would be unnecessary. The defense have any objection. That blood stain is going to clinch the trial for me.
Shocking truth! The only thing that's shocking is unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. I think I didn't remember myself clear, haven't I? I'll not turn a blind eye to any more necessary examination on this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough explanation of evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, isn't it? Is it? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Yeah, but she's trying to see. She's trying to use the treaty to get away with murder.
Counsel for the defense,
You will now clearly show what you're alluding. Beefsteak can be found. Watch this, baby. Huh? What is this? I think it's a Koban coin. The hallmark, the Hoyer, I believe. I don't need. From the meat juice, it looks like good condition.
Got it!
Good gracious, that's...
Koban?
What on earth? The Hoyer. At that. Miss Brett. This is in fact the steak that you ordered at the day in question, is it? Tell me. Why is an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat? It's a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen the thing before in my life. I don't know what it is, but I don't want no part of it.
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under meat.
Be simply careless mistake. Father
Objection!
Chief.
Don't be absurd. We were supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen. Or where Harry Corbin just so happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. As counsel, the Harry Corbin that just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If it turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my job right now.
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant. Even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing underneath that steak. The owner. Yes, it's obvious. The one person belonged to. Yep. The owner of the
Coleman, which is found underneath the beefsteak, is...
Take that!
Obviously, can only be the antique dealer and owner of Curio! As in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Ah yes, the old man who testified earlier alongside with the military judge. Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying that he was up to something with Miss Coleman when that happened. The exact moment the gun was fired. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hohe Eric Coleman, my prized coin. Oh, excuse me. Hohe Eric Coleman. Do you mean to tell me? No, please. Why would Kawakudo-san's Coleman be sandwiched underneath the victim's beefsteak in its plate? Yes! That makes no sense. Yes! Which is why I'm asking to bring Kawakudo-san to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testify earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. I can't believe we've come back around to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Coleman, we'll find out its key element in the case. We are about to go beast mode. Oh yeah, I gave Sergeant Nose the best voice. Sir! Eating booty on the regular, sir! What's this all about? What have I been called upon again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Ido? Well, my son's belly empty. He's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs forced to bear false witness. And when cast on this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in twice, a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more I have to say. The sun has been set on a very ship's owner's existence. Be that as it may, Kawakudo-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as, have you ever... What? Yes, that's it! That's the one! Stuck in his foot, that's the very one! That's exactly the resplendent pontiferous treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day! It can't be. As I thought. Young man, enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. You found your coin sandwiched between the beefsteak and the plate. Soak it in seasoned meat juices. Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly, it couldn't have fallen in there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my Hohe treasure between a slab of meat and a beefsteak? Who would do such a thing? Such an inconceivable thing? No one knows yet, guy. Everyone's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Sanaka. I mentioned this earlier in trial, but I was working undercover in a restaurant in order to investigate another case. Ah, yes, that's right, the secret undercover operation. The Carnival, excuse me, is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there have been a run of civilly executed thefts targeted the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the Bernese Bureau. More wicked crimes indeed.
We wanted to nip this case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you went undercover, is it? Yes. I took on the job of waiter. Excuse me. In order to flesh out the criminal. It seems likely that this Coleman incident is the work of the same thief.
So unbeknownst to us that there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place is already a scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who still hid Koram is all too clear. What? What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable sounder that hit him under the stake? This guy.
Take that!
It's Nosa. Obviously. It can be only you. Sergeant Nosa. What? How? How dare you? You monster!
Monster? I stole that Coleman, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me, it was Ido. Ido's the mastermind behind all this. You will push the blames of your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's a monster, Sergeant Nosa. Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop. Grrrr! Nigga, no. Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Ieyasu, preparing to stand out in the courtroom, sir. Niggas just had a whole mental breakdown. Do any of you know, with the extraordinary low wages of the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that our temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remain in place. And I have heard it's hard for low-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant. The place is heavy with money. Every 3 days I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I do enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time. Sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was an old man who is Coben? Yes, sir. It was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the stake. I was halfway through devouring it when it happened. Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Ido too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could. On the double. I slipped it underneath the stake, hoping that it would rendezvous again at a later date. Everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? Even the courtroom's like, yo, this nigga. This is ridiculous. Right, even the fucking courtroom was like, yo, this is some stupid ass shit. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling on your own. Well, Miss Brett. Oh, of course, dear lady. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency. Indeed. The death of the colt was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. Led to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such ideas astounds me. Nonsense, is it? Well...
As for picking up your steak and binding it to it without using a fork and knife, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Well, now that all questions concerning this witness testimony has been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day.
Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? There's no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just something about Miss Brett's parting words that got me thinking. Should jar something with me. I feel like there's a contradiction in there somewhere. Something doesn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard! Sorry? You could think later, but if you don't call it out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over. It's...
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett.
What is it now?
I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you.
I like to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction? What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about?
Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer madness of the idea astounds me. As for picking up your steak and binding it to it without a knife, using a knife or fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. Here she goes. I'm going to need to see the evidence, counsel. If Miss Brett's truth... Here it is. Where's the fork and knife?
Take that!
The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before was killed. Yes, go on. More accurately, Your Excellency. The steak was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Does something about this seem unnatural in you?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge, where it's been eaten. I see you noticed it too, Miss Brett. Notice what exactly, counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishwoman could ever contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a fork and knife.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at this steak, in particular, the edge of where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks here. It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claimed, couldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Brett couldn't get hurt. Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice can't possibly wait any longer. Of course, this will be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm good.
I've heard enough! You irritating little spectated samurai relic.
Of course.
Dear lady! Dude, what a simp. What's the matter? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She realized this constructive implication those teeth marks have for her. Ryunosuke, you're going with this? Yes, now at last, it's all come together. Here we go, y'all. Another Munch Foxy, we about to start hitting them with the facts. And with the cutlery. The reason why the blood stain, I know, I saw somehow disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. Teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, counsel. What exactly would you suggest and tells us? Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything? Yes, I believe that those barbaric teeth marks in the stake here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that proves beyond a doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Ah, nah, bro, I remember. How you been, dog? Conclusive evidence. How many times have I heard that today? You will know the meaning of the phrase typical Japanese anti-threats. Boy, you ain't ready though. Excuse me, how could you be so sure? Yeah, but shit, hit me up on Facebook too. Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it in court long ago. Oh, actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought to the court before yet. Hasn't been what? But just because it hasn't been shown, doesn't mean the evidence does not exist. Exactly. This is absurd. The trial has run for several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? Hold up. Just gonna at everyone. Alrighty. It can't be. I don't believe you. You have it. I'll watch. Objection! I don't, but there is someone who does. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve everything remaining mystery about this case. Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence? Mr. Crime Scene Thief? The homie himself. The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosanaka. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on the stake with teeth marks. Yes? Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. And as well admitting to stealing Kurokura's coin, he told us he slipped under the steak. You watch a scoundrel. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that was put under the coin under, in fact, your own steak? T-shun! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier of Imperial Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the steak the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal. But that makes no sense. The plate was taken from the visitor's table. Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. Well then, how does he explain this paradox? Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks. You did switch the plates! Well, after it happened, No. So basically what happened was, listen, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes, like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin underneath it. When I saw the waiter announce he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. If he decided to investigate my style of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off the kitchen, I seized my chance. He switched the plates. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak and the one the foreign lady's table. She didn't know. What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what I had to be done. Unbelievable! However, fear not, Prosecutor San. What now? I swore on brass buttons on my uniform. That is all I did, sir. All you did? That's plenty,
Yes!
Sergeant. So if the sergeant knows to switch the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate was on his back on his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Osanaga. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. But to preserve evidence, you had taken both. Yep. Got you, pussy. That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table from the precise moment he was shot!
Shut up!
What could that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat. It couldn't have the slightest bearing on the
Objection.
case. Too late, bitch. She knows. No, you're not wiggling your way out of it this time, lady. No more simping. No more fucking bitching. You're going to jail, pussy. I beg your pardon? Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why this steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you. No. You're not the ones. You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason the defense asked me to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. Things he remembers. I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate there was on the table directly behind Mr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from a gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defense memory serves him well. Now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let's not prolong this any further, Inspector. You will now show us the evidence to the courtroom. Present the beefsteak and the plate that was originally on the victim's table of the incident. Yes, sir! This is a big moment. That's the only time I'm gonna make Hosanaga shout. I'm gonna keep him quiet because he's a quiet badass. Sorry for keeping you. Blood, bitch. Here's the other steak in its plate. Please feel free to examine it. No bite marks and blood. The blood stain. It's clearly visible.
Yes!
Look. Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate. That shows that the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo Santo shot the victim. It can't be. In fact, the only person who could have possibly shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right, Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! Outdone by a Japanese me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No, no, no! Hey, yo, what the fuck? Kia! Everyone's like, what in the fuck? Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming, hated fellow Englishwoman. Forgive me. Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you tell the court what actually happened today. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using Curer. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you had planned to kill the professor knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because Curer is unheard of here in Japan. Yes, of course. I never intended to remain at the restaurant as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one sip of his water and it would be over. I'll place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone. And leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else?
Huh, bitch, I stopped you from... caught you in the middle of murder.
Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you had decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to step away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair, such that he wouldn't fall. There's no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Curer in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed underneath my skirt.
Under your skirt?
So I was right, there were two guns. Yes.
See, bitches really tried to have him fucked up because they're not gonna search her cooter. And then when I finished my coffee and got up to leave, that's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Placed where you thought I would notice it, and if everything went according to plan, you noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, I shot him. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun, even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him into the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair. Because of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he picked him up. When he picked up the gun. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency? Yes? I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later? I shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. Coming through with some respect, cause this bitch got shown up. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. Here we go, y'all. Susato-chan really came true with that note. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be. Takasuchi Auchi does not lose. Not like this rookie student.
You'd better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? Yes?
This insult to Auchi name will never be forgotten.
Yeah, because I'm going to beat your ass in the court for literal years to come. His descendants literally do it. You've become conceited with age, Council, but the old will have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Cut his top knot off. You're not a samurai, bro. You're dishonorable. For real. 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Yuchi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter of our chapter's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you were not. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. I thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern mythology. After all, it has been done a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. The Western's idea of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits. What it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world you are able. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. What's that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Never mind. I see you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes? In your sense, how I put it, unusual potential. I look very much forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. Beaten by a rookie. Here we go, baby. It is time to deliver a final verdict. Victory bong rip. Getting it ready. I hereby find the defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo not guilty. Bitch! Bitch, I'm in my bag, yeah. Bag, yeah. Bag, yeah. Bitch, I'm in my bag, yeah. Hey, back a bit. The court is now adjourned. Papa Booey. Look at that, baby. We did it. We defended ourselves. We're not murderers. The antechamber 5. 2:46 p.m. Can't believe it. I can't believe I made it. I defended myself and made it through the horrendous trial. Ryunosuke! You finally pulled it off. Congratulations. What I couldn't have done without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No. It was a pleasure to watch you at work. So you owe me a large sukiyaki for a place on Yume University. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work is certainly paid off. Susto! Congratulations for both of you. Congratulations to both of you for providing Naruhodo-san's innocence. Oh, I trust your judicial assistant. You worked hard for a result. Do you know? Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much! If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Bretz, I don't know how things would have turned out. You're kind of what should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to use the university and investigate. Your father? Ah, yes, Mr. Mikotoba. Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me for intruding. Susuto Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense. Speaking of Mikotoba... Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Mr. Mikotoba himself. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job.
Thank you, Professor.
Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend.
Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume.
You talked to Yume University. Was it?
Excuse me. Yes, that's right. Professor Makoto must study overseas himself. He went to study forensics medicine in Great Britain. Presumably that's when you met Dr. Wilson. Exactly. Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital.
Oh, you work together?
I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asoki. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads to the world in science, in medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all I can. I swear this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking this so to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. The blade shows me where I need to go. It cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me. What's happened to that woman? To the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial now. She's a true culprit after all. Right? She'll be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brett will not appear in this court again in the country. I'm certain of that. What? But why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Inspector Osanaga. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate. But what's going on about this yeah, what is all this about jurisdiction? We can try. We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? Who's gonna bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case somewhere far away, where our voices can't be heard. Why consular court? Because I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. And so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke consular court just like that. Can't they? Yes, she's a student, but that doesn't justify our government making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. But can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I thought that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. This bitch... The British government's foreign affairs ministries demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murders very seriously. It's all going to change from now on. This is the time of great general turmoil, this new era held by the start of the 12th century. 20th, I mean. One day, I have no doubt, the woman will receive judgment, the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming. Wait, what did he say? That woman received judgment she deserves. Well, I think there's enough seriousness for now. The evening calls for a celebratory drink. Professor. You're right. There's enough time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Inosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, why don't you just unlock Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about the details for now. So, La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor? Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none. I should go and attend to the paperwork for Naruto-san's release. Ah, yes, thank you. Such as our Brett won't be tried here. I suppose I'll never know. I'll never know. Find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma. Yes, Ryunosuke? I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You saved my skin. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer today, in there, weren't you? The defense was all your own work. Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. Look at I'm thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. Well, come on, don't be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the start of the trial. But you have natural talent for being a defense lawyer, I mean. No, not me. All that tense verbal combat, I never want to go through that ever again. Just did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win a fight? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when you said I didn't do it? I'm human, just like you. I don't have to have superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in court you could really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in, even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your point. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you have never stopped believing. Well, you face seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stop looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. Something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. I'm serious, what is... Ah, you're still here, are you? Inspector Tanaka, bring some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. Be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating our first cup victory. And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Ah yes, that too. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Makotoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. It's all because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. Yes, they do really play a big part, but still. More importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor to me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. End. And that's the end of chapter 1, y'all. We still proved our innocence.
Ooh, I got an achievement. Defense debut. Here it is. We'd be the Great Departure. Then it's the Adventure of the Speckled Band. Runaway Room. Clouded Kokoro. This is a good one. Clouded Kokoro. It's a good fucking chapter right here. I did this on the show. I did all this on the Switch. And then last one, The Hounds of Baskervilles. Oh, yeah, baby. Alright. We'll begin a little bit of this, and then I think that'll be the end of the stream.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath.
I'm gonna take a bong
In
rip,
time,
though.
there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The Speckled Band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible Speckled Band I had ever seen.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
Oh no.
Pray, do excuse me.
The best
The
boy.
cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So,
This is our boy
this
right
would
here.
appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
Paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world.
The only one in the world.
Sherlock Sholmes.
Sherlock
I
Sholmes.
presume you must have heard of me.
The best boy, I presume. Nick, you know who I am. Sherlock Sholmes, the one who can hang with the best of them. Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's alright here. There's trouble in the air. I'm wide awake!
Wait, I can't move. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? So you're awake now, We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe you could. Do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. Duh, we found you. And now you pay, criminal. So long you are hiding in that tiny wardrobe. Oh, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is. No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Is that... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Susato. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? You pretend you do not know. You're a wolf in sheep's clothes. You are the killer. Try not to make excuses. What? What? Kazuma-san's body was discovered not too long ago. Here, in this cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please, do not try and tell us you would. Do not try and tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? He can't be. Handcuffs. You don't think... I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-san's life? Answer me, please! No. No! And here we go, y'all. We're starting a truly desperate situation. A locked room mystery, and people think we killed Kazuma. It was 2 short weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, dog. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a story? Besides, how else would you come to England to study with me? It's really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. Where the Russian crew would just toss your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't believe it, Dad. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every rib in my bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days till we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself in my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. Ugh, I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't like be forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we keep this secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Makoto, but you mean? Your close friend, more to the point, but surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew that we'd be done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about time for the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better go in here, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my travel case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason, then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I'll tell you what. Why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? And then I stick under the wardrobe once you're inside. I don't know. We've been at sea for about 15 days. How could this happen? We were supposed to be this adventure to England together. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer. You said before,
You said that you admit everything about the collapse. No, yeah, that's not right. Yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. So son, please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. Sometimes I would like to ask of you too. Look at those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare's only getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I could do is try and find out what really happened. He's been killed. Is it just a bad dream? They think I did it. They think I'm Cosmo's killer. When they found out, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via the porthole window, and the bar on the door can't be operated from the outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or put another, the culprit could have only been someone inside this cabin. No explanation. This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge even despite the circumstances? Please, Cecil Chartron, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still intermediate. They still don't know how he died. Still doctors examining his body, but of course, they always have post-mortem things. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted. So presumably that means there was no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please, whatever you say. You were here at the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. That he couldn't. He was already dead when Susanoo-chan arrived at his cabin. I wonder. I knocked, but there was no reply. That's when I started to worry. So I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the door open and warned me to get inside. There was Kazuma's-san, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape now showed exactly how he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. Wish if that wasn't the case, but it's very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe, to trust me. Straight everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy, it's still throbbing like anything. Why are you aboard the starship? Hold on. You said something about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes, that's true. Hold up. Syrup. Not like some nice stream snacks, am I right? Or am I right? Alright. Oh yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now. I've been shut in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea, but how could you accompany Cosmo to the cabin without him noticing? No, that would be impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Cosmo invited me. Yes, he did. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I told him. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why do you go to Street Lights to smuggle me in with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, right? You ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I don't think you didn't think you were serious. Cosmo's the homie. We gonna find out who really killed our boy. I can show you. But I never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. This track goes so freaking hard. Ding, ding. London is the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such a place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. He wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps that he thought he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Some still bother me a little. The look in his eyes then, it was darker than I've ever seen before. Suzuki-chan? I'm sorry, we kept the secret from me. Me staying on the ship, that is. I mean, if I know Kazuma-san, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me coming back guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. That is true. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened in this cabin last night? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Cosmo brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself to the wardrobe like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So, they didn't steal on Kazuo's guild, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. Especially with being in this predicament. For some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really?
Is something wrong? No, it's... Forget it. You have to believe me. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one else who could have possibly done this. Cosmo, I don't understand why. Why did this have to happen? Ugh, I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. And I didn't do anything to try to stop it. I just sit around my hands tied while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to find out who took Cosmo's life and how and why they did it. Hiya! Oh shit. You're gonna need to get out of my way. Hiya! What the? That was a Susato takedown. Waifu. She come straight up flipped my ass. She said, "Parry! Here comes a new challenger!" Susato, what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry, prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you gone already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. She's still trying to believe me.
Yes!
Stuck on the doors. This was. I remember killing Whatever. I thought so. Cosmo always put it in place whenever I put him to sleep there. Just in case the cabin studio crew member decided to look in, so naturally he did the last night as well. Let's go, you peeled that sign. The culprit. I could have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this paper on the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Cosmo. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Cosmo thought so highly of you. Thank you, Sultan. Do you think you perhaps you could help me up? Yeah, she flipped the fuck out of us. She straight up said, "Hiya!" That was good. Well, in light of that evidence, excuse me, I don't see why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Like, so you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out any possibility that I use some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back into position. What does she think I am? A magician? But I see just thoroughly as possible. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susan-chan. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I should be watching you to make sure you do nothing to disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you to use your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. But, alright. Anyway. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. What? I was wondering how's it going, the investigation. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but is not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime? Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He does not appear to be laughing. He's convinced you are guilty. Might be have you information though. I have to keep trying. So last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary though? Niet! Of course not. Now back to corner of the room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? He seemed a little flustered. I'll do if that won't do. What's the matter? When I'm examining this, I always find myself focused. I forget to look around properly. Don't you know how it's on? Cosmo's sword. It's Cosmo's precious sword. He didn't go anywhere without it. Yes, he was trying to say. He's always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on a trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. Now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Broken cleaning too. Glass on the pores would be such a beautiful color. Fast enough from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Cosmo. You wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket around like this, would he? Right beside it. It has some brick-like hue. Let's see, let's investigate the plaque on the wall. Rules of passage for safety. It's essentially a list of requests. Passengers must quit. Pets are strictly prohibited. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure, either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. A dangerous object. Or a pet. Let's see what the raw scroll says. Probably something hard, because Cosmo's a freaking badass. Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Cosmo. Yes, his big fear was always a reflection of his heart. Ah! Oh, I just popped my knuckles. I don't like Sonic, I don't chuckle.
you Yet you can look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who dropped them so thoughtlessly. Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you're being stolen on this ship. How are you going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Sister Little Child. I ate it at the table, of course. Begs the question of when and how the plate ends up on the floor. Cosmoson didn't like chicken, did he? Oh, that's right. He did not touch it. Which meant all the more for me. No, does that mean Cosmoson spent last night in Surfer with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Oh, so a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Let's see. See this writing on the floor is about. See what all this is about. Died. It's in ink. He collapsed. I suppose he wrote the message dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Cosmoson. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. Clue in his final moments, was he? But I can't read your writing. I think that's Japanese now, hold on. What language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. Yeah, I wonder. It's a personal kill Cosmo. Isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stole it on this vessel. I was brought aboard inside that case. Yes, I see. This way up. In Japanese. I realized the foreign crewman shouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear. Being a story isn't as romantic as it sounds. Or it's less painful than a sister to track down. This is, yes, it's a bell contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really, that sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a try? Yes, in the interest of cultural research, obviously. Suppose nobody comes for lower Japanese people. No, I'm sure I think everyone's busy after all. Some kind of open ventilator. A hole which came through circulated to the... Isn't it a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator is what it is. It looks like it's connected to the next door cabin. Superior, you're right. This surely be connected from the outside. That's true. It's a rain and spray. Doesn't get in when the seas are rough or something like that. I suppose. Maybe that's it. So dear Cosmo would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Cosmo. Looks like this is the last act is incomplete, which means what? Is in the middle of writing it? What incident happened? It says it could be a valuable clue. Hiya! Damn it! It's out of the question. What? Cosmos may have departed for the world, but you must not read his private thoughts. What if it has something important, something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Poor Cosmos Alma. I'm prying into people's personal lives either, but in this case, isn't the need for more clues important? Huh? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he? Ah, yes. I'm about to get another drink and some snacks because this is one of my favorite characters right here. Herlock Sholmes, at your service. About to introduce a little bit of Herlock Sholmes, my niggas. Herlock Sholmes with the big PP energy, bros. He's Big Chad, big awesome, big cool guy, dope homie on campus, man. People ain't ready for Herlock Sholmes. You noticed the man too, have you? I had no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious, and suspiciously tall. No, hold on, son, so don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. It doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. He's investigating Cosmo's desk. Or is he playing on it? I can't tell. Okay, so I'm simply must talk to him. Am I just imagining it? Or does Susu-chan almost look uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect you notice the way in that case. If you press X on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Right then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sight to see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. Excuse me? Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh. This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that'll be for the best. Greetings! I hope I have not kept you waiting. Ugh! What exactly were you doing on Cosmo's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? In fact, he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything's clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you have found yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, at least that's true. But how the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It's a really most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example,
You have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You have left 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now you've traveled to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And you're bereaved a occupant of this very cabin. Discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Niggas got some wild ass assumptions. It's gonna be hard to do his voice. Yes, I believe that summarizes that facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you're talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name. I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-san. What? And you're plotting a revolution too? A shameful behavior now, Hollis. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way Hiya! It's because she simps for Sherlock Holmes. Because he's basically Sherlock Holmes. Explain yourself, tell me everything. This is ridiculous. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And that's for you. What kind of deduction is that you just saying? The first thing that came to your mind. Here's why I love freaking Sherlock, because he just be bullshitting. But he's smart as fuck, but he just be bullshitting. Was I not right? Whilst venturing foreign times, did you find yourself in a most troubling predicament? Do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it. You see? What do you make of that? Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England. I'm in handcuffs of a murder scene, so I'm not really sure you call it a deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed. An observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you've introduced yourself. My apologies. How remiss of me. The one and only. I'm none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women all over the world. The imitatable Sherlock Holmes, with the best fucking theme in all of this game. Ooh, hey, hey. Huh? What? Bro, like, dude, what? No. Like, sex is cool and everything, but can I just listen to the Sherlock Holmes theme? Dude, such a bop, Capcom. Hey. Hey. Ooh. And it only gets better. Hey. Capcom really was in the booth, just fucking mixing shit up, bro. Ooh. Hey, hold up, hey. So fucking good. So fucking good, Capcom. So it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes.
Look at him, smoking weed too, just like the homie do. The very same. The imitable actual Sherlock Sholmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruhodo-san? Of course I do. There's no one who hasn't heard of him.
What planet have I been living on then?
We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Oh really, why do I feel so uneasy about this? Hey! 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 So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I'm none other than the one and only Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Sherlock, was it? No, not hair. I mean hair. Please, call me Sholmes. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Ah yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. So you're the protagonist in this series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective? Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for.
Your inference is backwards. Backward? My trustworthy biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping up shop in London.
Dr. Wilson? Just like Derp, the name of the guy who got murdered. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a world-cursed crown. Really, I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is a science to me, logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really?
The astute observation notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subjects.
A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of posture.
Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. Bitches love Sosa. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. Bitches love Sosa, yo, and I know it, fucker. I gotta listen to some Chief Keef later. Bitches love Sosa, oh, and I know it, fucking with them homeboys. As I demonstrated a few short moments ago, how can you look me in the eye and claim that? So as you see, I've turned both for observation and both for favor deduction. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock. No, Sherlock Sholmes. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Haven't managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow. Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most recent cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. I see, in other words, I'm in these now because of him. became anxious about Cosmos this morning. I summoned all the crew members to force open the door, and I considered myself among their number, gaining entry to the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board, and the handcuffs now seem to be an excellent fit for Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? Two facts, you say? Mr. Sholmes, please tell us, what two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah yes, but first let us be precise. The two facts were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number two, the victim was Russian and killed the following dispute. Mr. Sholmes, who made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Cosmo could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many found their native tongue filling the head for this young man, Russian. Cosmo was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Gartube maybe his killer. A certain Robert Guard, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong to not look at the wardrobe there at least. When we found you, Mr. Naruhodo, sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. It's a traditional dress of the Russian people. Excuse me, it's a traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. Photograph from the victim and the dying message that I might analyze it. Also detail secrets. This was taken merely after the young man was discovered before his body was removed. Because it had already been taken. Seen him like this. Are you alright now, Naruhodo? Oh, yes, well, thank you. The photograph of the crime scene has been added to the court record. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary Russian and all that. Oh yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining the train of reasoning to me, don't you think? So if that interests you, how many times I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian? You know the Merchant? 16th part. Ah yes, the more sober details. Here we have this once page. The headline reads: Revolutionary villain Borshak flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was killed. So when was Cosmo a Russian? Sounds like Mr. Sholmes concluded he was Russian because what Cosmo wrote on the floor. If it was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was in fact this very same mercenary, revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape. His true identity was discovered. Yes, you, William Bookshi. Well, how could that be me? I don't look at anything like this man, just look at his face. Well, you are a filthy revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Oh, please. I might add, your name does not appear on this ship's passenger list. Need I say more?
Oh, that's because I'm a stowaway.
I'm blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds of the man have perpetrated thus far, and he was plotting. Excuse me. Yes, eventually everything about this revolutionary Borshek was included. There was could be no mistake.
Do revolutionaries usually agree with interviews? I wonder. What about the part where you said it's just out? You said I was just returned from Afghanistan.
That's quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned from a period of subversive actions in the war-torn region of Afghanistan.
Where even is it, anyway? This Afghanistan place.
They don't even know what that is. Here, take this paper. It's a little memento.
Oh, thank you.
Well, all of it interests me. But I see rubbish bin nearby.
Ha, he sees no rubbish bin nearby.
And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back, cast your eyes over it sometime if the interest takes you. Though you may need someone to interpret. If it's written in Russian, I could hope to read it. I couldn't hope to read it, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt to glance at the article.
What were you just investigating?
You were examining Cosmo's desk, weren't you?
Cosmo?
Ah, yes, the victim. Notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. You see the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary.
Cosmo was keeping notes of the trip.
Ah, yes, but I didn't think you should read. It could upset people. Tragic, and something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading.
You mean you read it already?
It was my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese.
Oh, I see. Yes, you're about to notice this little shakedown is.
Sushi-san, aren't you going to tell the detective with one of your trademark takedowns?
I'm sorry now, Hiro-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair.
Anyway, to return to the matter at hand. he really wanted her to throw his ass. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of this writing? Pray, to be precise as to the details.
Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese.
A smattering, my dear boy, a smattering.
Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado.
I trust you're suitably impressed. This diary is little and complicated looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. So that's all showing off before then. So what was all that showing off before then? For real. I'd be much obliged, but dear madam.
The two short sentences. The final entry here in Kazuma-san's diary consists of just two short sentences. 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound. These are very deep waters. Pray go on. The second sentence reads 1:35 a.m. What looks to be some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill. The man was presumably referring ta-dun, to the lattice over there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered into the... So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being at least. Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary has piqued my interest. The matter wants further investigation, I believe, and I'm still too long the seasickness takes hold. Now, if I'm too long, the seasickness will take hold. Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exhalation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence, the truth will be clear very soon. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No. That would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit at the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of his time naming you the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misjudged. I'd have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? That's very strange. How news? So you're the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what, you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway. That was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Now, Hudson, what are you just standing there for? Let's go and investigate the cabin as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? Hey-ya! After Kazuma spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're going to roll over and accept your fate? So you gave me a choice. Doesn't look good on me, but there's still things I can do for myself. To bring the real culprit to justice. Alright, everyone, I think that's a good time to end it. As always, I'm DJ the Cowhugger, and on the next episode we're going to figure out who done in our homie Kazama and, you know, pursue more justice and all that. So as always, I am DJ the Cowhugger, and I shall see you all in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I have a lot of other videos coming and a lot of other videos on the channel, so don't forget to check those out and like, comment, and subscribe on those too. Anyway, I love you all. Stay hydrated. Follow me on Morgana's House of Memes on Facebook. Bye-bye.